totally lost. If you want to sell me on that, go ahead. I'm all ears.
Or maybe just it might be my wording.
Sheeple telling me I don't know. You don't even know how they done it. How about
I wasn't
that?
the one mocking the method, Kimo.
Yeah, you mocking me that I don't know. You don't know how it's done.
Yeah, I was mocking you because you mocked it.
Because you don't know how it's done.
I don't think Sheeple was wrong. I think maybe the way he worded it. I'm making an assumption here, but I'm assuming that what he's saying is he's looking at the angle created from the difference in angle from those two locations, and then like he said, he extended it out or whatever. I think what he's meaning to say is he multiplied that out to a full circle and use that to come up with the entire circumference. So exactly. the angle he got, the difference in angles he got between those two places, he saw what the the ratio of that was with 360, and then multiply that out to the distance between the two locations.
Don't worry,
Is that what you meant, Sheeple?
Don't worry,
That's
Sheeple.
exactly what I meant.
Don't worry, Sheeple. We're flat earthers. We're not meant to know this.
Kimo.
This nonsense.
That part's fine if that's what he meant. That's not what I heard. And
I kind of rushed through it.
I'm in a foul fucking mood to begin with from all the shenanigans earlier and your continued shenanigans to this very second.
Yeah, Kosho said that, not Sheeple.
Finish it off, Sheeples.
No, well, that's done. Kosho said it for him. So, Sheeple, I don't expect.
Sheeple said the same.
We're not expected to know this as flat earthers, sheep. So we can't blame you for not getting it 100%
Here's the thing. You shouldn't dismiss what you don't understand, first and foremost. And although the claim, just so you don't come back with more rhetoric, the claim that it can't be determined on a whether it's a globe or a flat Earth using this method, the moment you use more than 2 reference points, there's no way it works. No way at all it works on a flat Earth.
Oh, you're such an optimist, Sheeple. Don't come back with more rhetoric to Kimo. Wow.
Telling me I don't know when you
I didn't say
don't
go.
know.
I said before he tries to come back with that. Oh, but it's not determined. It's not determined. The moment you use 3 reference points, you're in trouble because now you've got different angles that you can now start to create a whole different understanding.
For me to believe this, so I'm sure, I want to know how they measured from one place to the other back then. Stop being silly by saying they walked.
It's not difficult, Kimo.
Have you not been told?
When people travel, they still want to take some.
Ask one question: how can the moon give a shadow on the Earth?
Hold off with that journey.
You know what I mean?
Object.
That's impossible in physics. It's against
Someone's asking
everything.
a different retarded question, real quick.
Yeah, but that is.
Can you tell me how they measured back then without any tools or GPS?
The fuck?
How
Dude, you understand that we had distances all throughout history. Have you ever heard of that story of the fight at Thermopylae whenever the Persians came and he had to run all the way to all the way back to Athens, and he ran 26.2 miles for marathon, and that's why they call it a marathon. They're able to measure. You can measure distances, or at least get them close by Kerr said footsteps. That's why we measure things by feet, because probably somebody took 1 foot and we use that as a metric. But people can make measurements however crude they are.
I can't believe you.
The king's foot.
If we did something like this, you would just be laughing your heads off. He said we walked from here to here and counted the steps.
You don't think they
do all the time? All imperial measurements are based on, natural things, right? Like a yard is the distance from the tip of your finger to your nose. There's a whole load of them. An inch is the distance between the tip of your thumb and the knuckle of your thumb. There's a whole load of them, but they're all based on.
What is the distance then between Alexandria and Cyrene?
5,000 stadia.
No, in miles today. How many miles?
I don't know, miles.
How many
800
today?
kilometers.
How many miles is it today?
Let's find out.
Yeah,
800 kilometers.
How many miles is it today?
800 kilometers, Kimo.
They use the average length of a peanut.
Jam, you saying something?
No, doesn't matter.
How many miles was it then?
4 million penises.
I don't know. I work in kilometers. 800 kilometers.
How
If
do you
anybody
know
has
that
Alexa, you can ask Alexa.
Okay.
Oh, you see, the more we dig into this, it doesn't seem, believable that someone could measure 800 kilometers by foot and hand and eye.
What does it matter, Chemo? We can just replicate it today, and plenty of people have done. So, what does it matter if you don't believe this ancient story? It doesn't matter.
Susan,
Your incredulity means fuck all, dude.
been replicated. What do you mean? How? When? Who?
Right, Chemo.
There's a guy who does it with a bike, isn't there? He tries to do a version of it.
Yeah, in Canada.
Right.
Isn't there someone in this Discord server right now who's sort of done it globally?
But when that guy on the bike did it, he did it on a straight road, horizontal road. There was no curvature in that road.
Yeah,
The world
Chemo, that's
record
why
for the
his
straightest road.
that's why his measurement was a little bit off. Just using a stick way back then. But it determined a parameter that the Earth fits into, and now with high quality and precise equipment, we measure it down to the decimal point in degrees and kilometers or miles or whatever you want. All of these things you deny. So where do we go from here? The man measured it with a stick because of Pythagoras and Aristotle. Before he knew it was already a globe, or knew it was spherical. He wanted to find out how big it was. And now with modern day methods, it didn't change that much. And he used a stick. So where do we go from here? If we can't even get you to agree on the most rudimentary method, matching to the most modern method, where do you go from here, Chemo?
Listen to the point here. We have a world record road that has no curvature on it whatsoever.
Oh my! Is that the point? Really?
So how can you get
I think that was
curvature on a
of my
road?
question.
How do you have curvature on a road that is world record
Why are you deflecting,
straight?
Chemo? Why are you deflecting from the question, dude?
Because of you
I
sound
don't
off.
understand what this makes. How can this make sense? If you take a snooker table, you do your experiment. You're saying, well, the snooker table's curved because the sticks tell us.
It's got nothing to do with what I just said.
If we
That's a
take the snooker
misrepresentation, and you fucking know it.
If we take the snooker table and then lift up the snooker table at an
Because
angle,
of this one measurement. This measurement takes the knowledge that the Earth is curved and uses it to measure it.
goodness sakes, this is how crazy this is.
Goodness sake, quit lying.
This is absolutely crazy. You're saying we know that the snooker table is flat, horizontal. We lift up the snooker table so it's slanted. You put your Eratosthenes on that snooker table, and you're saying, well, the snooker table is now curved.
Nobody said anything about that.
It's worse than Brummies.
It's insane.
How long's the road?
You're insane.
It's
Yeah,
the world, it's
you
the world
is
record
insane.
straightest road.
Your straw man is insane, dude. We know. We get it.
So let's go through this again.
It's not, Chemo, it wasn't originally an experiment to establish whether the Earth was curved or flat. And it's an experiment where the experimenter already knows that the Earth is curved and he's just trying to calculate its dimensions.
No, he can't already know it's curved.
It's not that hard.
How can we already know it's curved?
He already knew, dude.
How?
Because
Just
of the
like
evidence,
just like everybody else does.
around him.
Oh, was that what you... Well, you see, and that's why I say, it's a circular argument, and that's why Whitsitt was saying before, laughable because the globe is presupposed, and you're saying, well, no, it's not.
It's not, Kim.
That's
and
not
the fact you keep
presupposing, though, is it?
you keep saying, okay, what the presumption might have been is that we think, based on all these other things, that the Earth is spherical. Now, to test that, you can do different things. Now, Aristophanes was, following the works of Pythagoras and Aristotle, who, when he went too far away from the stars, he couldn't see them anymore. So he determined, well, that must mean the Earth is not flat because, those stars aren't visible anymore. And as they went back towards where they'd come from, the stars came up over the horizon. They determined that the Earth must be spherical. So when Aristophanes came along, he was like, well, how big is it, right? So you taking a road that's the longest flat piece of road. Do you even understand what goes into making a road, Chemo? Do you even have any clue? It's like taking a potato and peel and slicing one flat piece on it and then laying down potato bits on it. Okay, you made that. You created a flat surface on a spherical object. It's not definitive, and it's just in no way flat. The elevation along that road, as Jim went through you at length, showed that the elevation changed something like 100 feet across from top to bottom. All right.
So I want you to show me how we can take a snooker table. I lift it up, put your sticks on there.
Okay.
How can you
Also,
make
Nobody
that?
cares about snooker
How
tables.
would you make
dude.
that snooker table curved once I lift it
Okay,
up
here-
at a certain angle?
Right, Chemo. That is
Choose the bed,
absolutely
Chemo.
ridiculous because I could fit how many snooker tables on the surface of the earth?
No, I'm saying we take a long snooker table the
No,
size of that
no,
road.
no, answer the question. Answer the question.
No, it's one snooker table the size of that road.
We're not talking about a snooker table even the snooker table the size of that road. How big is that road, Chemo? I asked you this. How long is that road
I forget the
in
measurement.
kilometers?
Get the measurement.
You forget the Okay.
But it's the straightest
Choose
road.
the
It's in the
bed then,
Guinness Book of
Kimo.
World Records and stuff. So
Right. Great.
Choose the bed then.
that road's been measured like a
So it's
snooker
a
table.
man-made, human-made road
That
that
doesn't
you're-
curve left or right. Amazing.
that doesn't curve left or right, but changes in elevation.
No, it doesn't
Wow.
curve. It goes
That's a
straight.
very straight, flat
Straightest
road.
Yes, it's the world's straightest road.
Right. I want you to
Yes.
do two things: post the length and the elevation profile for that road.
Yeah, okay. But like I said, I'm trying to figure out if I've got the snooker table and I lift it up, how you can get curvature from me lifting the table up.
And before we talk about your snooker table example, I'm going to need you to show the elevation profile for that road,
I don't
so
know
that
what
we
the
can
elevation
determine whether
profile
that
is.
snooker table is dead straight.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
Straight
come on,
doesn't
Kimo.
mean straight doesn't mean up and down. Straight in this sense means it doesn't have any bends in it.
You've
Yeah,
already
it's
said
got no
yes.
bends in it
Okay,
at
so
all.
do
It's
it.
a
Kimo.
straight snooker table.
You've already said yes. Okay, so go ahead and do it for us.
Go and get it, man. You're wasting the time of these adults here, Chemo, saying that this is the straightest flat road. Straight and flat in this condition are different again. And I've seen, shots of that road. It runs parallel to the train as well next to it. Come on, man.
Is it the road is it in Australia or something?
No, it's in
I mean-
Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Nullarbor
One
in
I see is
Australia
100
is damn
Yeah.
straight, but it ain't flat because I've
It's like
driven it.
150 like kilometers, which is what 140, 150 kilometers is less
It's
than half of
96
one half of
miles.
1% of that's less than 0.5% of the Earth's circumference.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Sorry, hang on. I thought it was 127 miles. 1
Nullarbor.
degree.
Uh,
No, 1
Well,
degree.
you might be looking at a different. Are you looking at a different road? I don't know. The
Um,
one I
I've-
found from a search shows Australia's longest straight road.
Yes,
I think he's
it's
talking
the
about something in
96.
Canada.
It's the 96 mile straight, otherwise 157 kilometers.
Yeah, and so 150 kilometers is less than half of 1% of the Earth's circumference. That's basically nothing. I mean, it's not nothing, but it's very, very, very small.
How many snooker tables?
250 miles between gas stations.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yep. Now, before we go with taboo conspiracy,
Oh, no. Canada?
we need the other thing I asked for. Do you remember what that is, Chemo?
Yeah, so you've got the road. You can Google where the road is to get the elevation profile if you need to. The idea
Right,
is
okay,
that the
I'm gonna-
globe earther went to this road to prove curvature on this road. And the flat earther went to this road also to see if the earth was curving by firing a laser down that
Chemo,
road.
do you remember that? And what was the length, maximum beam strength of that laser? Do you remember?
What was the miles? How far did they see?
I think it was in kilometers. 18.67 was the beam strength, and they were measuring something like 29 kilometers.
But he was able
So
to
it was
see the
well past its limit that the light wasn't even reaching the lens of the camera.
How did they see
But you want to use that? You want to use that like there's no problem whatsoever, right? Because it fits a narrative.
How did he see the light?
But the laser wasn't strong enough to reach the distance they were measuring from. How do you even consider that a fair test?
How did he see the light if there was obstruction in the way?
Because I can see a flashlight a mile away.
With obstruction in the way.
If it's bright enough and facing towards me, doesn't mean the beam hits my face.
Seeing light with obstruction in the way.
Not obstruction in the way, Chemo, because as we determined from the elevation profile last time, and again, Jim went through this, and you put them into all types of straw men and false arguments. It's a elevation change, and they're standing at the top, shining it down. So of course that's going to be fine.
So there was no obstruction in the way. Yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah.
It's downhill all the way. So
yeah. So we're agreeing there was no. So we agree there was no obstruction in the way. Yes.
It was downhill. So yeah.
So yeah, of course there was downhill, no obstruction.
Yeah.
Of course.
Higher elevation in the starting point and lower elevation at the ending point.
Exactly. So of course he's going to see the light. Yeah, because there was no obstruction. It's downhill.
Yeah.
They should have done it
the other way. Where do you get the elevation profile from, Kimo?
From Google.
So you use a geoid. Thank you. Welcome to the globe.
Yeah. Okay. So there was no obstruction in the way for him to see the light because it was at a higher elevation. Yeah.
It's getting wrecked every which way.
Yeah.
But I do have a problem with Chemo's numbers. The bike ride between the 2 points of the measurement taken was 280 kilometers.
But Kimo needs to change the topic because he knows he's going to get wrecked.
The main thing is that he was able to see the light because there was no obstruction. You guys have elaborated. So the guy there on the bike, he went to measure curvature. So how did he measure obstruction when we clearly said there was none there to be?
Curvature. He measured curvature. That's not obstruction. So
how could he measure curvature if there was no obstruction?
But that's not what. That's not.
Oh, Jesus.
Did you watch the fucking video?
So you're saying he measured curvature?
He read the title, Davros, and you know it.
You're saying that he did measure curvature.
How do you know a basketball is a sphere? Do you have obstruction?
Are you saying that he measured curvature, Davros, on that road?
He did Eratosthenes at 2 locations, you dumb fuck.
And did he measure curvature?
Go watch the video. He explains it in the first 5 minutes.
I watched the video, Davros. I'm asking you, did he measure
well
curvature?
Past the attention span. You know that.
You missed the point because he wanted to go further than 1 degree on the planet, which is why he went 280 kilometers.
So did he measure curvature?
He measured the planet, you twat.
Did he measure curvature on that road, Davros?
So you didn't watch the video?
I'm asking you, did he measure curvature?
No, I'm asking you for once. You didn't watch the video properly, did you?
I watched the video properly, did you?
Did you? So what did he say? What was the first words of the video?
Did you watch the video properly?
What was the first words of the video?
Why would I remember the first words of the video?
Oh, so you didn't watch it then?
Because I don't remember the first words that he said.
Yep, exactly.
Right. So did he measure curvature in that video?
Why are you avoiding it? Why are you avoiding
Go watch it again and tell us the first words, Chemo. How about that? That'd be nice.
Go watch it for the first time, Chemo, and stop lying.
So I watched the video.
Stop reading the title.
He didn't measure curvature, Davros. Can you point to where he did measure curvature, if you did watch it?
Did I? Hang on, why are you saying I said that he measured curvature?
I'm asking you,
I said
did
he measured the
curvature?
globe, you twat.
So he didn't measure curvature in that video?
I never said that.
I'm asking you, what did he do?
Why are you making presuppositions and assertions?
I'm asking you, did he measure curvature or not?
Nobody's claimed he has. What's your problem?
I'm asking a question. Did he measure curvature?
We've told you how many times. No. Move on.
Well, I'm asking Davros, did he measure curvature?
He told you no.
No!
So what was he doing in that video, Davros?
He was proving how much of a liar you are, because you haven't watched
I'm
it
not in the
or
video,
understood
Davros.
it.
He did that. Yep.
I'm not in that video, Davros. So you're lying.
never
I didn't
watched
say you were in the video. I said
how
you haven't watched it.
How can you be proving it to me then, Davros?
How can you say you watched it and then ask
Davros,
what the
how
video's
can he be
about?
proving it to me when he doesn't know me?
What?
You said he's proving it to you, but he doesn't know me.
He's getting away from the wreck
How
point.
can he prove it to me if he doesn't know me, Davros?
My God, this
goodness,
dude has got
you're
no
getting wrecked.
nuance.
Chemo, I suggest you go and have a rest. You're sounding really sick, mate.
So, Davros, do you want to concede he wasn't proving it to me?
No.
Oh my goodness.
So you're saying that he was proving it to me?
No.
So what are you saying then? Do you know what you're saying?
Do you?
I know what I'm saying. I'm asking you, did he measure
Did he not address
curvature?
you in the video?
You said
That was
no,
weird.
so
I
I'm
told
asking you,
him
what
to.
was he doing in the video?
You both need a
No,
5
it's not about me.
It's not about you, it's about the video. What was happening in the video?
Then
What
why are
was
you
he
making
doing?
it about me?
Not
Why
about
aren't you
you,
making
it's
it
about
about
the
him?
video. What was he doing in the video?
Well, go and watch it and
I've
then come
watched
back
it,
with the
Davros.
conclusion. What was his conclusion at the end?
No curvature.
No, it was actually go and check out Saskatchewan Science.
No, that's not what happened.
So you didn't watch to the end of the video?
I watched to the end of the video.
Because he tells you the website to go to see all the stuff they did behind the scenes.
Prove it.
It's in the description of the fucking video.
Well, prove it then.
Why should I have to do your
You're
homework?
lying, Davros. You're just making things up.
Oh, am I?
You're getting wrecked, Kima. Come on,
Okay,
man.
then. Show me the evidence that I'm lying.
Show me the evidence he measured anything in that video.
I was talking to the god just now. He got me the answer. It's left table was telling me. But
So we can get back to the
What the
video
fuck?
now, Sheeple. You finished, Davros, or are you still going?
Oh, are you still lying, Chemo?
No, you're lying.
Hey.
You're saying that you've watched the
So
video.
you just lied again?
I'm
by
gonna need
saying
that
No, you just
elevation
lied again,
profile,
Davros.
Kimo. Kimo, I'm gonna need that elevation profile before we continue.
What, do you have Google?
nobody is listening to it.
Oh no,
it's,
Kimo, I found it. I found it. Are you
What-
ready?
What's the
Are
elevation?
you ready? You're gonna get it. So, witness the fitness, Kimo. All right, you're gonna enjoy this. And if you don't understand it, I'm sure there's many people that can laugh and tell you
Spit it
about
out,
it. Just a
Sheeple.
moment.
Let's get the measurements.
Chemo, I'm just get it. Chemo.
Well, let's just get the
T-
measurements out, Sheep.
Yeah, just a second. I got many pictures of dirt on my computer. I just gotta find out which one.
Although we
But
already know that.
Oh, here it is.
Although we
It's
already
even
know it's at a higher elevation.
labeled. It's even labeled Chemo's L. It's funny, isn't it? Anyway, here you go.
It's nothing funny. Chemo just talking with.
Here you go.
It's,
What we got there, Sheep?
There's your elevation profile for your flat road.
Right. So,
Oh,
there's,
dear.
so there's no obstruction between the top and the bottom, right?
Oh no! What does that mean?
Is there any
What does that
obstruction?
mean, Chemo?
I'm asking, is there any obstruction between top and bottom? No.
Chemo, do you think that's a flat road?
Well, why was your guy measuring? How did your guy measure curvature on that flat road?
Chemo, do you think that's a flat road?
Yeah, it's a flat road. How did he measure curvature on the flat road?
Excuse me. Let me hear that again. You think that's a flat road?
No, it's a straight road. Sorry, the straight.
Same elevation all the way along. Straight road.
Straight road. You said flat. Words in my mouth. Straight. It's the idea.
Well,
It's the
flat by
straightest road.
elevation standards.
It's the straight.
Same elevation all the way. Same height all the way along.
Yes, okay, but is there any obstruction between top and bottom on that straight road?
I'm just trying to get where you stand on this.
On that straight
I've
road,
given
is
you-
there
I've
any
given you-
obstruction?
I've given you the indication of what your answer should be. I've given you all the help you need to answer this question.
Well, I'm asking you, where is the obstruction
Is
on
it
that
the
road?
same elevation along that straight road?
We knew that from the beginning. We're asking about the obstruction, Sheeple.
So it is the same
Obstruction.
elevation,
Not the same elevation. But is there
right? So
obstruction?
how can it be flat as you refer to it?
It's
straight
not
and flat.
flat.
Can I ask?
Straight.
Are you asking about the geometric structure, or you're talking about?
Neither.
We're talking
Johnny,
about a
neither.
straight road. It's in the record book for being the straightest road, not the flattest
Yeah.
road, Sheeple.
On the flat straight
What we're concerned
road,
with, though, is how
it
do you
can be
measure
obstructed.
curvature on this slope here?
Right. So, Kimo,
Mhm.
what is your argument now that you just agreed that the elevation is not the
Well,
same?
we've
The
already known
idea
about
that the
the
elevation should be the same, and the road was flat.
Not flat, straight.
You changed it now to straight.
Yeah, no, you put the words flat and...
No, you said flattest road.
No. In the record books, it's the straightest road, not the flattest road.
Right. So, what's the point when the road is man-made over different elevations?
Is how do you find curvature on a straight road?
Yeah. Therefore, we have to
Height
talk
of
about the
observer.
temperature and density
The height of
in the
observer,
air
go on.
and everything, and looks.
Height of observer. So let's say he's at the top of the slope.
illusion.
He's at the top of the slope, yes.
And the distance to whatever your
What are we talking about?
Whatever
Are we
distance
talking about the
you're measuring.
reality,
So
or are we
look,
talking about
He's
something?
at the top of the slope, you're
crazy?
saying. He's looking
It's like a
down.
straight road that goes up and down.
How does he find curvature along that road?
If it's not
You-
flat, Kimo, you
He
said
can't.
it's not
No,
flat.
nobody
road,
can.
So there's curvature. If
Sheeple.
it's not flat.
Hold on, Marman, I'll get to you in a second. Marman, if Sheeple, if it's a straight road, you can see straight down.
there's an
as
elevation
we've
drop
just,
from the
all
top to
agreed,
the bottom.
We've all agreed
Why are you
that
talking about
the
the
laser
elevation
can be
of-
seen all the way because there's no obstruction. If there's no obstruction, how do you get curvature along that slope with those Eratosthenes sticks? People.
Okay, for
Okay, I'm
again,
listening. Okay, go on.
again.
Mhm.
Now,
Mhm.
the distance is negligible. Okay,
Oh.
compared to the shadow measurement of about 7.2 degrees from the 800 kilometers. Okay, this is about what is it? This is a 84.8 mile piece of the road. That red section. Okay, the fact
No,
that
it's
it
not
goes
okay.
top elevation to a lower elevation is
Mhm.
curvature already there. Now surveyors could measure the radius from any of these points at all, doesn't matter, along the whole road. They could do that, no problem. But the
Okay.
fact that it's not the same elevation and a dead straight line across should be the question that you should be asking.
Surveyor cannot.
Finally, the laser that they used, what's 18 about 19 kilometers in miles? How long is that? Anybody?
18 in miles, about.
You did 18 miles.
It
Sorry, 18
was-
kilometers.
It wasn't.
But 19
Yeah,
kilometers.
About 11.
I got you, man. It's like 10 miles.
12. Yeah, 12.
Alright,
Sorry.
So
No, it wasn't
the,
12
the-
miles.
the road section here
It's
indicated
11
the-
something.
Okay, so 11 something miles is the distance that the laser can shine. Now this road is 84.8 miles, the section that's indicated in this image.
It was 16
So their
miles.
laser-
Is what the distance
Their
was.
laser can't
26
even
kilometers.
reach what the distance they were
Come
measuring.
to
Because they
the
were
fucking
measuring the
point.
laser at 29 kilometers. The laser beam had already run out of energy and strength before they even got it. That's why you could see it as a blue dot in the camera, but it wasn't actually hitting the lens of the camera where they were filming it. It was effectively turning into a flashlight.
Down that slope, there should have been 123 feet of hidden. And that's why you shouldn't have been able to see that light.
There's 147 feet drop from the top to bottom.
Yes, but if he's measuring curvature like the guy did with the Eratosthenes, there should be curvature around that slope.
But is that
you know-
elevation, dude? You're completely wrong, Chemo.
how do you
How the
get
fuck do you not
curvature
understand
on
how
that
a triangle
slope?
works?
How do you
Oh,
get
shit.
curvature on that slope, Sheeple?
There's no
my
reaching you,
God.
Chemo. There's no
But
fucking helping you.
Well,
Johnny,
I'm
all
trying to
of
figure
them.
out how you're managing to get curvature on a slope that is straight.
Chemo, how do you work out a radius?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out from Sheeple here how we can get this curvature on a straight slope.
Yeah.
Sheeple.
Yeah, and I'll take you back to Sheeple's point from nearly an hour ago. How do you work out a radius, Chemo?
So there's no curvature on that Sheeple, but yet somehow the Eratosthenes showed curvature. That should tell you something, that something is wrong.
The drop exists for what they expected to see.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
The
from
measurement,
the
measurement of the
bottom-
laser, the claims they made that it should be dropping and all the rest of it. The laser was running out of strength at those distances,
You're
which
not
was
getting it,
dishonest
are
to
you?
begin with.
So if
but
you're
you
at the
ran
top of
with
the
it.
hill, right?
But the drop from the top to the bottom of that road is indicated by the curvature of the Earth and calculated in that elevation profile. If you don't want to see that,
You're talking
that's
like an
fine.
assumption. You're
yeah,
saying
but he's
like,
not getting it, Johnny, because
assumption.
if you're at the top
he's
of that
saying,
hill, if you're at the top
he's
of that
thinking
hill,
it
okay,
is.
and
And
you're
yeah,
6
at
foot. Hold on,
20
Johnny. Johnny, hold on.
At
Yeah,
If you're at the top of that hill there,
20,000
hold on, Johnny. If you're at the top of that
Sorry,
hill there,
2,047 feet. Yep.
People, hold on a second. If you're at
assumption.
the top of that hill and you're a 6 foot
Yep.
observer, you can only see 3 miles straight in front of you. Can't see the entire way 20 miles. See?
What are you talking about, man?
If you're at elevation, you can see much further than 3 miles, Chemo.
Not beyond
what
your
the fuck
horizon.
are you talking about?
Not beyond your horizon.
You're an
you
idiot.
can't.
You're an idiot.
Not beyond
You're
your
an idiot,
horizon.
Chemo.
Your
I
apparent
think
horizon.
Relax now.
The horizon you're talking about is dropping away from you. The measurement you're talking about, the horizon at the same level should
you're
not
incorrect.
be visible.
Let me show you what I mean. I'll take a picture of that guy.
Hang on. So,
and we're going to see what we're going to see is a horizon.
I want to talk to Sheeple for a second.
An apparent horizon with no geometric horizon. That's what you're missing here.
So Sheeple, you're
what
saying
I'm talking about.
at the highest elevation along that profile, it's just over 2,000 feet, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's looking down the slope, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He should be able to see
about 150-foot drop to the bottom.
Yeah, so he should be able to see almost to the bottom of the hill, which is further than 3 fucking miles.
So then show
Exactly,
me
and
that.
that's because the elevation of the distance, or what Chemo's trying to call the horizon, or further down the road for people of logic, is dropping away.
No,
What is elevation?
so you're saying then, okay, that's fine. You're saying that the guy on the bike can see from one end to the other, yeah? Because he's on a flat straight.
No one said that.
What are you saying then? So his horizon will be 3 miles away.
No one said that either.
That's what I'm saying. That if he's on a ball, his horizon for a 6-foot observer will be 3 miles away.
At 2,000 feet?
6 foot above what?
He's on the land. Whatever ground he's on, his horizon will be 3 miles away, around that mark.
But
you have no idea how this works.
Whatever his elevation is, if he's on the surface of something, looking out on the surface,
you don't know how to triangle.
He will only
He's on a hill.
He will only be able to see 3 miles away.
That's not how this is applied, Chemo.
That's exactly how this is applied.
Started.
Chemo, he's
You
at
deserve
elevation,
to be punished,
right?
Okay.
Chemo. Absolutely.
Right, so look
fucking
here, we have this guy's
Do you know
road
what
here.
elevation is?
So what we have here,
It's height above the given level. Of
what we
the
have
sea
here,
level.
Johnny, hold on a second, please. So what we have here,
I'm just saying, you have to. We have
Johnny,
to
hold on a second.
reenact.
Johnny,
You have to listen to me also.
yes, let me just make this
Elevation.
point here, and then I'll pass the mic to you.
They are
Hold
talking about the elevation, and everybody
Johnny,
listening to
just
know
want to get this
what
point
they're
out
talking
real
about.
quickly. Come on.
Okay.
I've got this picture because it will pass pretty much soon by. But the idea is he's on the road. According to Sheeple and Davros, they should be able to see the entire way from one end of the road. Because they're on a slope, looking up or down, they should be able to see the entire way. But as we can see with this image here...
That's not what was stated.
No, that's not what I said either. And stop twisting what I say.
So
If you
how
don't
far can
understand
you
what I
see that?
say, ask for clarity. Because fuck,
Right,
man,
so let
this
me
is
ask my question
painful
then.
for
So
the
let me ask my
room.
question then again then. He's at the top of the slope. 6 foot. Got no obstruction in front of him. What's the distance he can see? That's my question.
Not enough information.
Which
Here's
direction
here's
is he
the road
facing,
again.
Chemo?
This is the road that he's on. To the top of the
Chemo, what
road.
direction
What is
is he
the
facing?
elevation in front
Whatever
of him?
elevation you want. Whatever you want. He's got
Okay.
the road
That's
in
not a
front of him.
question.
Well, you can
That's
go
not
for
a
any
question.
elevation you want. He's got the road in front of him. What's the distance he can see with that horizon?
You just don't
see
get
to
this,
what?
do you?
Listen, he is asking you a question. Answer the fucking question.
He
Right.
doesn't understand what he's asking.
Any
Johnny.
elevation you want, 1,000,000 miles high, but he's got the road in front of him like that. What's the distance he can see?
See, Chemo, here's the problem with you creating this idea that you can apply the black swan argumentation to any elevation or observation. This is where it fails you, because in the black swan observation, the elevation to the water was sea level. This is nothing like that observation.
Where's
Okay,
your
so
elevation
you've got to
profile?
imagine this, Chemo, as if water filled in to the same height, then you would have the ability to apply your horizon measurement, but because there's not water in front of him and the physical land is dropping over 150 feet from the top of this road, the obstruction is literally disappearing the further he goes away. So you saying how far can he see means
Here we
nothing.
go. Monologue time. No
Everybody else
conversation
in the
here.
room understands.
Pure nonsense from sheeple. Okay, so let's try.
You can measure it.
Go on, Johnny. Make your point.
Okay, you can measure it. So what the fuck are you talking about? It's not science. It's just mathematics. It's just measuring the square of the distance you have in front of you. And
it's not.
Look at this screenshot here. The guy, the ball earther, says he's able to go here because he says it's very flat here. This is from your ball earther video. The caption says it's very flat. I just noticed that just now. It says it's very flat, and there are no mountains or anything in the way, no obstruction. Now, I'm asking you, if he's at the top of the hill, you and Davros both just said, oh, he's on a slope, he can see all the way down. Of course he can all see all the way down. Well, how far are you saying?
Accents, prick.
Are you saying that he can see 20 miles straight down?
Chemo, fucking stop. Rewind the fucking tape and repeat verbatim what both myself and Sheeple said.
Right, well, just answer the question. How far can he see down that slope?
No,
you're lying about what was said.
Relax.
Johnny, shut up. Chemo, I'm calling you out. You have twisted my words and Sheeple's words 3 fucking times in the last 2 minutes.
Right, well, let's go back then. So
we are talking about the elevation profile from where the first location was.
Elevation is irrelevant to me. If you want to give any elevation you want, any.
You're an idiot.
Go with any
You're
elevation.
an idiot, Chemo, because the sea level observation is the elevation that you need to take into account
with
for
any elevation
obstruction.
you want, but make sure between the 2 points you have this road.
You're fucking.
Okay, and then you
Chemo.
tell me
this is what
along
happens
this
when you
road,
try to regurgitate other people's arguments and use argumentation that you don't understand. If you can't get past this, dude, there is no fucking saving. There's no help for you, okay? Because you don't understand what's causing the obstruction, do you?
What is causing? That's what I'm asking you. What is causing the obstruction on this straight road?
So you don't understand.
No, I'm asking you on this flat, straight road that the guy, the ball earther, says it's very flat. He says it's the world's straightest road.
Something must meet the same height of the observer for obstruction to even take place. It must intersect the horizontal eye line of the observer in the distance. This case, it doesn't.
How far can he see? What's the distance? You're 6 foot observer, top of the slope. How far can you see? Can you see all the way to the bottom?
The observer, his eyes would have to worry about vanishing point rather than obstruction.
How far is that?
Wait, hang on. You're saying this guy who's on a fucking 4 foot high bike is only at 6 foot at head height?
No, I said, let's say you're a 6 foot observer at the top of the hill. How far can you see?
Hang on, why are you changing the narrative? You're going from this flat place, not on top of the hill. What the fuck are you doing?
Well, that's what you said it was a hill. It's a big slope. Your words.
Oh my god.
We're dealing with the observation as
So
it
you're on top
stands.
of this
You're
slope.
trying to create this example where it's like a flat, like the black swan, and the sea level is what's going to be obstructing you. Do you understand the difference between an
All I wanna know
elevation
is
change and
how
sea
far
level?
can he see? He's 6
What
foot.
the fuck
He's
do you
on
think
this
the elevation
road.
is measured from?
How far can he
Jeez,
see
man.
looking down this road?
With what? His eyes?
Just his eyes. What's the distance he'll be able to see? Yeah.
We don't know because it's an image from a camera.
Can he see? We know it's straight, so can he
Chemo,
see from one end to the other?
To the limits of his vision.
Why can't he see from one end to the other?
Because it's a camera, not his eye.
Exactly, because your eyes can't see that far.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
What?
No. What? You're an idiot. You're such an idiot, Chemo. You have no idea. You have no idea what should be causing the obstruction. You have no clue.
It's perfect. This is what we're looking for, guys. I asked you, why can't he see all the way on that flat road, straight road? And you said, Not because of obstruction.
We weren't talking about your fucking screenshot, Kimo.
According to you,
we were talking about the
ball earthers,
elevation
you're supposed to see
profile.
from one end to the other.
No, when did we say that?
Oh, I don't know, Davros. I wonder when that was said. I wonder when ball earthers have said you're supposed to see from one end to the other.
No, in this conversation, when was that ever mentioned?
Why can't you see from one end to the other?
Hang on, why did you just change your question?
I don't know what the vanishing point of the eye
There is no obstruction from one end to the other.
I don't know what the vanishing
Why
point of the eye is.
can't we see from one end to the other? You've just shown the elevation, no obstruction.
It's an 84.8 mile long road.
So why can't we see from one end to the other? No obstruction. Why can't we see all the way?
136 kilometers, 84.8 mile long piece of road.
20 miles, you said. Why can't we see the entire 20 miles? On this no obstruction. The guy just said no mountains. There's nothing in the way. On the text here, it says it's very flat. We know it's in the Guinness Book of World Records. Why can't he see the 20 miles the entire way?
So you went back to flat again, and you said it was straight. So
No,
which is it,
on
Kimo?
the screenshot it says flat. The ball earther says flat. That's where I get it from. I'll post it again so you can see, read the captions from the ball earther. The ball earther says here in the captions, since it's very flat here and there are no mountains. That's what the ball earther says. In the ball earther video, I'll post the link. So you want the link, I'll give the link once again.
Stop!
I'll timestamp it where he says that.
You're gone,
at the current
mate.
stop.
You're fucking gone.
Well, that was by accident how I stopped it there. I didn't even look.
You understand? He's talking about the bike ride that he's doing.
So
he
this
has
is
to
the
travel
ball earther
200
video.
Hang on, hey! He has to travel 280 kilometers in one day to make the measurement.
All I'm going by is people said, where did you get flat from? And in the video, he says, since it's very flat
Don't get
here.
sidetracked, buddy. Don't get sidetracked.
Okay, so I'm not
Focus
allowed
on the
to.
L.
I'm not allowed to finish what I was saying,
I'm just
Kimo.
pointing
Thank
out
you very
why
much.
no point
Fuck
shouting
you.
at me. No point shouting at me when I'm just saying, where did you get flat from? It says it in the video.
I was answering you, and then you talked over me. You hypocritical little prick. You can go fuck yourself, Kimo.
So, like I said, we're told...
Kimo, you should take a rest. You're really sounding very
Oh no,
tired,
we're
mate.
absolutely fired up right now because we were told that you're supposed to be able to see all the way on a flat plane. If the Earth is flat, why can't you see from one end to the other? Well, why can't you see 20 miles from one end to the other? No obstruction, no mountains, nothing in the way.
What's the vanishing point of the eyes?
Uh-huh. Now you have
What's the
another.
vanishing
Now, what's
point
this
of
fleur
the eyes?
perspective you've got here, sheeple? What are you talking about?
No. Let me explain.
How do you
Perspective
calculate
is when
this
you
then?
think
Can you
you're winning
calculate
an
that
argument
for
when
me?
you've already lost.
Can
That's
you make it-
perspective.
what's
when you
the
apply
maths?
perspective, you think you've got a point.
What's the maths for this? Give me calculations for why I can't see the entire way down 20 miles.
I told you before, Kim. I don't know the vanishing point of the eye.
Give me the maths. What's the maths? Where's your model?
I just said, now for the third time, I don't know the vanishing point.
No model,
for the
no
naked
map.
eye.
Where's Everett? Can you post a little no
So,
model thing?
Because I don't know it, after admitting ignorance, no one knows it.
No
Is that your point?
No model.
No, that's your world.
So we're going to save this this information here for when we're ever asked, why can't you see the entire way on a flat Earth? And we'll just say, why can't you see the entire way, 20 miles, no obstruction, no mountains, nothing in the way?
Why can't you see Everest from front?
What's this 20 miles unobstructed that you're talking about? I just got here, Chemo.
And you can't see 20 mile down the road.
No obstruction. And the guy says himself, Brian, look, let me post the picture again. I don't know, God gave me this link. I didn't even look, I just pressed pause. I didn't even press
It's on
subtitles.
top of a hill.
Came
No,
up.
Don't forget to add that, Kimo.
And look, Brian, read the captions. Brian, read those captions. It says, since it's very flat here and there are no mountains to go around, he's explaining that he's got a nice, long, straight road. Right? So it's like on a slope, but you can see from one end No, it's like a slope.
Colloquially, people do use flat and
They get
level
the 33
interchangeably.
in on
There's
that.
no evidence provided that that's actually a flat road.
It's in the Guinness Book of World Records. What are you talking about? It's in Wikipedia.
It's in the record for the straightest road, not the flattest. But
it's
see
been,
the elevation
it's been
profile
verified,
drops
Slacker.
about 150 feet there below it. That's
We've
what
got
we're dealing
all
with.
the
And Kima wants to
detail.
know why the road doesn't obstruct when you look from the top to the bottom, which is what the flat earthers tried to do.
We've got all the details, Slacker. I know you're going to try and pull your little, what the height, where is this, blah, blah, blah.
Details because I didn't hear any of them.
But, Slacker, you should know, we've got ball earthers that have been to this road. We've got flat earthers that have been to this road. And they both verify that it's flat. That's what he says. The ball earth.
It's not flat. He explained it to you. It's straight, Kimo.
Whatever.
Flat.
He's fine. He said the word
not
flat.
whatever. Flat is flat. Straight is straight. Fucking man.
The point is, he's saying there's
get
no obstruction. Okay, they can make great
No
measurements.
obstruction doesn't mean the same thing. But Slacker, do you know how to calculate the vanishing point of the eyes?
Oh, we're going to get a model now, guys.
Eyes
for the
don't
flat
have
earth. This
vanishing
is great.
point. Objects do.
Slacker, I'll give you a little bit of background. So remember the guy who measured the Earth using his bike?
No.
Oh, so the Canadian who rode 280 kilometers in one day to do Eratosthenes across Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what this contention is because he rides on a bit of flat road. Kimo says the whole Earth must be flat.
He also says there are 1 in 10 flat earthers in America. In that video,
But the elevation change, you're not looking at Kimo from the
I
top of
don't
the road
care
at the
about
highest
elevation.
point.
You can have this in the sky.
But you should care about elevation because you're trying to apply obstruction of the horizon down this road because you think that sea level and this observation are the same thing because you're trying to apply the black swan argument.
Look, it matters not. If we're on a snooker table and then you walk, let's say an ant is walking on it, you lift it up, turn it around, all that kind of stuff. They don't care about any angles. They just want to know if I can see from one end to the other. No obstruction, there's no obstruction. So all the elevation is not interested because from point A to point B, there is a straight line of sight, no obstruction. Now the question is, why can't you see the entire way down this slope, this long slide? No,
because this curving down, dummy.
No, of course.
Exactly, Kimo, because the
oh my God,
end of the road
that
is
was the
well
curving
below the height
slope.
of the Kimo.
Dummy, understand the word fucking English, man. I'm Romanian and I understand it very well. So
See,
straight
this
is
is why
straight.
Witsit was freaking
Flat
out earlier
is
on
not
because-
flat. Shut the fuck up. I didn't talk all day.
all
Yeah?
right, all right.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Yeah? Straight is straight. Yeah? When you measure straight, you don't measure flat, dummy. When the elevation point is changing, is not flat, dummy. Yeah? So it's straight. Stay with the arguments. Don't stay with the fucking things that you inventing all the time.
Try to be a bit more respectful, you know.
No, I'm not going to be with you.
It's like
Never.
It's difficult because it's like we say, it's like we're talking to children. I mean, again, if we're explaining that there's no obstruction between these 2 points, we know it's straight, we know it's not curving, it's in the record books, it's in Wikipedia, we know the data. So we're trying to figure out now why do we have this horizon? Now, obviously, Sheeple's, it's the pennies drop with Sheeple, and he's thinking, well, he's like Slacker. How do we explain this with perspective? And for me, that's the beginning of a model.
I admitted ignorance on a topic and asked Slacker if he knew.
Well,
for clarity.
You want to start asking around because
can
this
admit
is the problem.
I don't understand. I don't pretend to enter an argument knowing everything like you do.
I'm not
And when
saying
get
that.
asked a hard question, I deflect into some other thing and twist someone else's words.
the right
I won't let you
thing.
do it. I've let you do it long enough.
Did the right
and
thing
if you're going to take
because-
my words, you're going to repeat my words. You're going to quote me verbatim or not quote me at all. Because
Well,
every
yeah,
time you
that's right.
fuck
I'll
it
try
up,
and
I'm going to
summarise what you
correct
said.
you.
But you did the right thing because, like I said, you saw the problem, you saw the issue immediately, and you looked.
There's
to the
no
peers,
problem, Kimo.
You looked to the peers immediately and said, "Hey, Slacker is one of the top ball earthers, even though he's quiet, but he knows his stuff."
No,
Now,
Kimo.
Slacker,
No.
you got to help out your man Sheeple here. How are we going to explain seeing this
I
horizon?
can't do that if you just keep rambling.
Okay, so in a nutshell, we've got a horizon, no geometric horizon. How do we figure?
This is like you coked up chemo. Really.
I'm just excited now.
It's crazy.
No, he's been like this since 12
Since
hours
he got into
ago.
bath salts a year ago. He's been smoking bath salts all day.
Yeah, but
It's crazy.
12 hours
It's-
ago, he was in the same hyper-extensive babbling
Don't
monologue
smoke bath
mood.
salts, kids.
Oh, for good. Now here comes the Adahoms.
No, Witsit. I mean, sorry, Chemo. You need a cup of tea and a rest, mate. Really, I suggest you
No,
do
I'm,
that for
I'm
half an hour or
I'm
so,
good to
and then
go.
come back to us.
Figured something out. Obviously, if you want to change the subject, be my guest. But sheeple.
Hang on, don't you have to get up for work in the morning, Chemo?
Not about me.
No, I suggest you have a cup of tea, something to eat, and a bit of a rest, and then come back to us.
I do appreciate the
I don't-
advice.
I don't think he's got a job.
Yeah, the care is sometimes overwhelming. But no, we've got.
You've been taking a lot of hours, chemo. I don't know if you want to regroup and reschedule on your next hour, but this is not helping your cause whatsoever.
Well,
Your idea that there should be obstruction on a road that continuously drops away from the observer to the point of 150 plus feet, and then you try to apply the black swan to this. This is where you failed. Okay.
The point is, I think you're missing the point. Is that we have position A, position B, no obstruction in 2. Okay.
Right.
That.
Yet somehow we can't see other observer.
Right.
Not because of curvature, because of something else.
Elevation
What is
drop.
that something else?
It's an elevation drop from the observer.
Oh my God.
So when your flat earthers were looking for obstruction, they were literally standing where the obstruction would be if the same elevation from the beginning where they set the laser up was the same height at where they were measuring from. That's where obstruction's meant to be measured from. Okay? When it's dropping more than the elevation is going to cause obstruction, they can still see it. But when they use a laser that runs out at 18.67 kilometers and they're standing 29 kilometers away, that's dishonest.
Interesting thing
I can't
about
even
this road
believe it.
is looking at the elevation profile. The elevation profile looks linear. Well, that means the actual geometry of it is not linear. So there's still curve.
Where's the obstruction then? Where's that curve?
Could be the
from?
curve. I don't know.
Don't know.
It's a 136 kilometer
Well,
road.
we hear
in
that a lot.
piece
You
there,
don't know,
Kim.
but we just know.
You don't get it.
I don't know enough details about what you're observing and what the conditions are.
The horizon. Are
But
you
I can
saying
tell
at
you
the
that road is
horizon-
curved.
Are you saying at the
Over-
horizon, that's where the Earth curve, the observable
It's a
Earth
degree. It's over a degree of curvature. Yeah.
curve? Yeah, that's what you're saying. Along that slope, after 3 miles.
At distance. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
it's
you don't
curving
see.
everywhere.
See, there you go again, applying the black swan argument, because the black swan argument is sea level.
Yeah, but I'm
Is
saying
Kimon
that
doesn't
mixing up the
apply
laser test
here.
and the whole road?
You know,
Is
you're
Kimon
having memory
mixing up-
problems again. We've been over this. The Earth curves everywhere, not just at the horizon.
Hold on a second. If there's 1 degree, like you're saying, that would be obstruction, right?
Yeah.
I mean, are you mixing up the laser test with the whole road? Because the laser test didn't go for 280 kilometers.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying between the 20 miles, why can't we see the high away for 20 miles?
The road's curved.
Yeah, there's a Earth curve.
So you're saying along this
dropping
road,
away.
along this road, you're saying it goes for 3 miles, then curves down, and then
So you're doing it again.
It's dropping all the way from every
You know,
moment.
if you're
it's dropping
honest,
away.
you should really go see a neurologist about your memory problems because they're just terrible.
Yeah.
They might even be purposeful so that he doesn't have to take the
No, I
alligator.
think they're self-inflicted acquired brain
Let's look
injuries.
at this picture again. So you're saying that when he looks at the horizon, Earth along that slope is now curving away or down.
You can see it in the fucking picture.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
it's
a
dropping.
horizon in the picture.
It's dropping.
And
Kimo.
Canada is physical,
Like,
so
are you
that
saying at that horizon the Earth is now dropping down?
Chemo.
No, I'm saying
Chemo.
all of
all
it's curved.
dropping down.
Chemo,
No,
I'm saying,
though,
how
at
are
that
the
I'm
clouds?
saying At that horizon,
Yeah,
if things
Chemo.
are you saying, Slacker? Things at that horizon will disappear bottom first because of curvature down that slope.
The clouds are behind the fucking planet, you
Slacker,
twat.
Davros, you've had a go. Hold on, let Slacker just get in. The Slacker, are you saying when something disappears bottom first along that slope, it's disappearing because of curvature? Slacker?
Sorry, I was getting some food. Yeah, the Earth is curving everywhere.
Yeah, so I'm saying at the horizon, if something disappears bottom first at this horizon on this road, you're saying that's due to curvature.
Whether that's just the
let's say a
topology of the
car.
road,
Let's just take a
topography
normal
of the
car.
road, or the curvature, the average curvature of the Earth.
No.
Well, it'd be a
I'm
combination
asking.
of both
Are
of
you
those,
seeing this
yes.
picture I've posted? Do you see the picture? See the picture?
Yeah, you can't tell much from that, but sure.
Do you see the picture? Let's say we've got a truck on the road, and we zoom in, and it starts to disappear bottom first. Are you saying that's because of curvature along this slope?
Probably. Roads are also bad for mirages, so that'll probably be involved as well, but curvature, yes.
It will disappear bottom first because of curvature along this road.
That's what'll happen.
Yeah? Just to be clear, that's what you're saying, that it will disappear bottom first because of curvature. I've got to be clear, Slacker, because I know in a minute you're going to say, I didn't say that. That's not what I said. I didn't say that. That's not what I said. So I'm saying, if we're looking at this horizon and the truck disappears bottom first, is it because of curvature or not?
Yes, whether that's the average curvature of the Earth or the curvature of the local topography, yes.
There is no curvature.
No, I'm asking
why
about
are
the
you talking
curvature.
about
No, hold
something
on,
that you
hold on,
cannot
Johnny.
measure?
Is it because of the topography or curvature of the Earth at that horizon?
Yes.
Not the Earth. What's yes? Topography or Earth?
Yes.
Johnny, go ahead.
One or both. Without more details, I can't say which one is more prominent, but both. Yes.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Why are people talking about something that they cannot measure, that they cannot show up, that they cannot take in the hand and hold? Nobody can see or measure any curvature. Oh, that tells there is no curvature. You have nothing to measure. There is nothing to measure. There's nothing here. Oh, maybe they are not on a globe then.
Watch
You
out
have
for the
to.
penguins, mate.
Oh, the penguins.
Yeah,
They
they're
are
after you.
Don't talk about the penguins. We are talking about the reality now. We are talking about the measurement. Who cares about the fucking penguins?
I love penguins.
But that's not the focus.
Didn't you watch the film Happy Feet? It's a wonderful film.
Oh,
Dancing penguins.
You're trying to talk about the reality is too hurtful to take in. You know, I was talking about the measurement. There is no curvature that you can measure.
Why should you escape from reality? I don't get the choice.
Yeah, I understand you would talk about the penguin also, because you're out of every resource. You have no resource. You're trying to go out to the Disney world, the penguins world, and everything. And you don't understand at this very, very cold outside. To the more south you go out, it's cold, very, very cold. Do you know the record that people know of is 90 degrees Celsius?
What, where you are at the moment?
In south, it's not never happen in north. And north is a cold, very cold area sometimes. But thanks for sun is circling and come over the north and making everything happening and the earth life and the planet, the making everything happen. You know, the life. There's no fucking life in the south ring of Antarctica. Antarctica is no small thing. It's around us. It's a fucking shoreline of ice.
More than that, Bernard. I promise you, it is.
Okay, there's more ice behind the shoreline. Yes, and cold, more cold because there's no sunlight there. It's very, very dark.
Not all the time.
Yeah,
sometimes
if you go.
24 hours.
I'm not talking about the shoreline. You're talking about the shoreline all the time. I'm inland. If you go inside, or more further in, everything get darker and nobody can be there. Nobody.
Only if you go in the winter, but that's not very smart. Go in the summer and it stays light in the middle.
I'm talking about the beyond the Antarctica circle.
Yeah,
Since the sun goes to
Why do you write off the explorers who have died there, trying to forward?
Nobody has been there. It's too cold.
You know,
Nobody can be there. It's a fucking. We are talking about.
I mean, it is on their own. That's why we built
nobody has
building outposts.
Do you know
out
what 100 Celsius? How cold it is? There's no sun, no sunlight, nothing, just dark.
Well, that would be funny because the sun goes all the way around you, so that means that the sun, when it's on the opposite side of you, would still be 12,000 miles away. So you have to go really far distance beyond to get past that sun.